So good afternoon, everyone. Good day, everyone. Today I will be discussing agrarian relations and issues in rural Philippines. This topic explores the relationship between farmers, landowners, government institutions, and society, as well as the major issues affecting rural communities. Understanding agrarian relations is essential because agriculture remains the backbone of our country's food security and provides a livelihood to millions and millions of Filipinos. Our discussion will begin with the introduction of agrarian reform. Agrarian reform, followed by its historical background and agrarian structure. We will then examine the major agrarian issues in the Philippines, discuss the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program or CARP, explore current government initiatives, identify emerging challenges, present recommendations, and conclude with a synthesis and key learnings. Agriculture continues to play a significant role in the Philippine economy despite the country's increasing urbanization. Millions of Filipinos depend on farming for their livelihood. While agriculture provides food and raw materials for industries, however, rural communities continue to experience poverty, unequal land ownership, low productivity, and climate relation challenges. Because of these realities, agrarian relations remain an important social and economic issues that requires continuous attention. What are agrarian relations? Agrarian relations refer to the social, economic, and political relationship among those individuals or involved in agricultural production. This includes landowners, tenant farmers, agricultural laborers, cooperatives, and government institutions, and agribusinesses firms. These relationships determine who owns the land, who cultivates it, and how income is distributed, and who has access to agriculture resources. Ultimately, agrarian relations influence rural development, economic growth, and social justice. So, for the historical background of the agrarian relations in the Philippines dates back to the pre-colonial era when a land was generally communal owned. Now, when we say communal owned, no one's owned it, but it's a common. No, there's a lot of owners. Kung sa una, during those times that if you cultivate that land, it's yours already. No, during the Spanish era, however, when colonization spread, the hacienda system was concentrated, and land ownership among Spanish friars and wealthy elites, creating widespread tenant farming. No, dito nagsugod ang mga haciendas when ging panagihanas ang most of the Spanish and Spaniards people ang mga farmlands. During the American colonial government, they introduced land registration and commercial agriculture, no, but did not significantly change land ownership patterns. Though there's already a reform in the owning of land ownership, there's still little to no reform in the patterns of land ownership. No, though ginggaan lang or they're giving registration already to the hacienderos and hacienderas. However, after the independence, several agrarian reform programs were introduced, including the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program or CARP in 1988. Although the implementation has its challenges up until today. So, agrarian structure, the Philippine agrarian structure consists of several important groups. Landowners own agricultural land while tenants, farmers, cultivate land owned by others. No, agricultural laborers work for wages without owning land. Farmer cooperatives help improve bargaining power and access to resources, while government agencies such as the Department of Agrarian Reform and the Department of Agriculture provides policies, financial assistance, and technical support to gather these together with the sectors, shapes agricultural production and rural development. Of course, the landowner, the tenant farmer, the laborers, and the cooperatives, and the government agencies are interconnected with this process. One of the major agrarian issues that the Philippines is currently facing is that it continues to face numerous challenges. This includes unequal land distribution, land conservation, from agricultural to commercial use. No, one example of this is the pack silica. No, what is a pack silica? That is a controversy nowadays that is planning to be built in BGC Pampanga. Sorry, in New Clark City, Pampanga. Now, Paxilica is an AI hub which they will house a factory for AI. And they will use a lot of land and water in that area. In that sense, having that um, factory or hub, no, ultimately uses 47, 47 Philippine arenas. Imagine that. No, rather than using it as a hub for AI, why not use it for land and cultivate it properly? No? Um, these other challenges is persistent in rural poverty, low agricultural productivity, climate change, limited access to credit, and unstable markets. These interconnected issues affects farmers' income, food production, and national economic development. Next is the unequal land distribution. As you can see, one of the country's oldest agrarian issues is equal land ownership. A relatively small number of landowners control large agricultural lands, while many farmers remain landless or own only very little or very small farms. This inequality limits farmers' ability to invest in better technology and contributes to poverty, social inequality, and lower agricultural productivity. Although agrarian reform distributed millions of hectares of land, land ownership inequality still exists in many rural communities. Here in Negros, there's a lot of hacienderas and hacienderos still that are in conflict with their tenants, no? With their farmers. Even though it's already distributed by CLOA through the power of CLOA, still some of them are having problems when the hacienderos insist that it's still their land, no? Next. So the rural poverty is prevalent, remains one of the most serious concerns in the Philippines. Farmers often earn low incomes because of unstable crop prices, expensive farms, input, natural disasters, and limited employment opportunities. Then, to add to the burning sensation already, to put an alcohol to the burning camp, we still import a lot of our farm and agricultural products from countries such as Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, which we can still develop of our own. So that's one of the problem. Poor infrastructure and inadequate irrigation and limited access to education and healthcare further contributed to this poverty. These conditions encourage many young people to migrate to urban areas in search for better opportunities. No, they are now forced to work in urban areas. Then, now, next, climate change and agriculture. Climate change poses one of the greatest threats to the Philippine agriculture. Stronger typhoons, prolonged droughts, floods, rising temperature, and pest outbreak reduce crop yields and increase production costs. In Negros, we're currently experiencing that. No, yung pest na nagpapahina ng capacity ng sugarcane to produce more sugarcanes. Since the Philippines is one of the most climate vulnerable countries, promoting climate smart agriculture, disaster preparedness, and sustainable farming practices has become increasingly important for food security. Now, Philippines is one of the dangerous country in terms of excuse Philippines is one of the most dangerous country in terms of national or natural disasters because we are in the we are within the Pacific Ring of Fires. Next is we're going to talk about is the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Act, or the CARP. It was established through Republic Act number 6657 in 1988. Its primary objective is to promote social justice by distributing agricultural lands to qualified farmer beneficiaries. CARP also provides support services such as credit, training, infrastructure, and agricultural assistance. Although the program has achieved significant accomplishments, implementation implementation challenges and legal dispute continues to affect its overall effectiveness. No, that's what I've said. When the land ownership or the hacienderos and the hacienderas are against the distribution of their own land, there's already or there will always be a conflict with them and with the government. Next is government programs and support. Several government agencies work together to strengthen Philippine agriculture. The Department of Agriculture provides mechanization, irrigation, seeds, fertilizers, and extension services. The Department of Agrarian Reforms continues land distribution and support agrarian reform communities. The Land Bank of the Philippines offers financial assistance and agricultural loans. These programs aim to improve farmers' productivity, income, and overall quality of life. So these are the government programs and support that are being made by the government in order to support the rising challenges or the upcoming challenges of the agrarian reform. No? Now, let's talk about the emerging issues. New challenges continue to emerge in the Philippine agriculture. Many young Filipinos are leaving farming industry because of low income nga and limited opportunities. With low income, of course, you could not support your family well. And with that, it results to a more aging farming population. No? Ang nabili nila or the rest that are farming are old or either senior citizens. At the same time, digital agriculture is prevalent. Drones, precision farming, information technology are becoming increasingly important in improving efficiency and productivity. But though this AI or digital driven technologies can also be a cause to different issues such as safety and security and even job opportunities for many Filipinos. Ensuring food security while adapting to technological advancements remains a major priority. Lastly, to sum it all up, the way forward is to strengthen the Philippine agriculture. The government should continue improving land reform, implementation, and expand irrigation system, modernize farming technologies, provide affordable credit, improve farm-to-market roads, strengthen farmer education, encourage youth participation in agriculture, and promote climate-smart farming practices. These initiatives will help increase productivity, reduce poverty, and improve rural lives. So, topic synthesis. In summary, agrarian relations continue to shape the lives of millions and millions of Filipinos. While the country has made progress to agrarian reform and the government support programs, many challenges remain, including unequal land distribution, poverty, climate change, and low productivity. Addressing these issues requires cooperation among the government, private sectors, academic institutions, and farming communities. By supporting sustainable agriculture and empowering Filipino farmers, we can contribute to more equitable, food secure, and prosperous Philippines. To close, agriculture is not merely an economic activity. It is a foundation of our nation's food security, rural development, and social justice. Supporting our farmers means investing in the future of the Philippines. So these are my references, as you can see. And thank you so much. And let us continue to support our farmers and work for a just, equitable, and sustainable rural Philippines. Support farmers, build strong communities, promote sustainability, ensure social justice. The future of our nation begins in our rural community. Thank you so much and have a good day.